Hey, what's up, everyone? Just wanted to give you Frostblink Elementalist players a little bit of an update on how my league start's been going. It's been going really, really well, despite all of the Necropolis, whatever. Can't wait for that patch to happen, hopefully today. My league start has been really, really good, actually, and I just want to share with you guys what I did, how I did it, how much I spent. So we'll start off by just showing a little bit of a map right here as I talk about the strategy. What do we get? A little bit of a Chaos Orb with some pack size. Quickly on my Atlas here, if you want to just like zoom in on it, this is the Atlas. I am doing pretty much still what I said I was going to start off doing with going into Expedition. I rushed Unwavering Vision, then I went into Expedition right away, made some good currency off of Tujin, and actually Rog. I got into Rog crafting this league, and it's been really, really nice. And that's actually how I got some of my nice items without having to spend any money. And he's made me money with things that I can craft that are really nice, that are just selling for, like, you know, a lot of 20 to 50 chaos crafts that I'm able to sell through Rog, which has been really, really nice. So yeah, that's been the strategy. Do Expedition and just do Rog and Tujin primarily. Besides that, oh yeah. And then yesterday I started getting into boss rushing, doing destructive play here with the Maven, summoning additional bosses, and then we take Vivid Memories as well as Remnants of the Past and Conquered Conquerors. And I'll show you guys real quick. This is less than a day of farming it. I ended up with, and I actually ran a bunch of them too. I ended up with all of this, and that's less than a day. Just, you know, it was like 4 hours on stream or so of just doing some casual boss rushing. It's really, really nice, and these sell for great currency. So if you want to do that, I don't think it's the most profitable thing in the world, but for a build like this that has just solid single target damage, it's really nice. In terms of the playstyle, things that I've changed, there's a couple moderate changes that I've made here that I think makes the build a lot more comfortable to play, but a little bit less comfortable to gear. And I guess we'll just show that right now. Big thing is Legacy of Fury. I killed Maven. Also, I got all my Void Stones. You can see right here. Got them all naturally. Did it myself. Fortunately, I can't do any sales right now, buddy. I dropped the Legacy of Fury, and this has been an item that I've always been considering using. But in the past, like I first made this build 11 months ago. In the past, Righteous Fire really wanted these boots, and particularly good rolls of these boots were very expensive. Like we're talking a few divines for the first few days of a league, where they were just very much out of the, out of the conversation for a league starter anyway. But now they're dirt cheap. They're dirt cheap. Even with pretty good rolls, they're still dirt cheap. Got these from killing Maven myself. The advantage here is all of the nearby enemies will be scorched already. They'll have a very strong scorch on them, so scorch is reducing their elemental resistances. That's really, really good with our Ire of Malice and with our exposure and with our double curses. This stacks incredibly well with how we're already scaling the build. Previously, with the rare boots, we were already going for Scorched Ground, but that's, not super consistent, right? It's only when you walk underneath an enemy. So we're using the Legacy of Fury now. Downside is we get no life, we get no res. We're stuck on 30% movement speed. We don't get the faster ignite on the implicit, and we don't get the spell suppression. So that's a lot of downsides. So I've had to build around the downsides here, but in terms of the comfort, you basically, why do you wear these, right? 34% up to 40% chance when you kill a scorched enemy to burn each surrounding enemy for 8% of their killed enemy's life. So it's effectively like a corpse life scaler, right? Much like Detonate Dead. But it's not even corpse life. It's more like a chieftain explodey because it's based on the enemy's life and not the corpse life. So it scales really nicely based on the actual life of the enemy, which is really nice. So you get this effective like AoE burn mechanic that is really good for just, really incredible clear. You can stack that with Infernal Cry, which we're already using, to get some really incredible explodey. And for me doing Expedition, any high density clear is really, really nice. The other change, as I am going to trap throwing speed, I've been really stubborn about this, is I've kind of held off on going for trap throwing speed, but now I dropped the Fire Dot multi on the gloves, and I dropped the ES recharge suffix on my belt right here, just to get 21% increased trap throwing speed. And you can see, if you're playing this build already, you can see the difference in the throwing speed. Like if I take these off, that's the regular throwing speed that we deal with. And it's like, it can be frustrating and even get you killed if you want to get your traps out quickly. But when it's this fast, it's kind of pretty comfortable to be able to throw your trap even when Frostblink's on cooldown. It makes a really big difference. And yeah, my bad. My bad for being stubborn about that. Because it was just like, it doesn't show up as anything valuable in POB, but it's huge for the quality of life of the build. Anyway, let's show what the build looks like. So Do I read these corpses yet? Probably not. We'll wait until the patch today. So basic idea is regular thing is we're just Frostblinking around. You can see that like AoE explosion. It is it's just a burn effect, and it does a really, really good amount of damage. Get some Chaos Orbs right here. Real nice. Besides that, other thing, I'm using Packed with Energy because the maps are so damn hard right now. I think Packed with Energy, getting those Nico nodes, 45% movement speed, 105% life, plus 3 all res, just incredible. It's mandatory for all the maps. I'm going for double shrines as well. So shrines with Nico makes all of the maps much, much easier to run. The damage feels incredible. And let's just go straight to the boss right now. And hopefully we'll get up to 3 bosses. And you'll notice that my life is like pretty solid now. The thing is I just sprung for a Taste of Hate, and I do have 100% natural spell suppression, even without Lucky. And the way I did that is through tattoos, and I actually took this one little node here to cap off. I have 100% natural spell suppression, so no hits are sneaking through. Oh, we even got a ghosted boss. Really good. So you can see the damage is solid. I'm at like 6 million DPS right now. And 6 million Ignite DPS is really, really solid. You can see I can kind of just like face tank everything. And yeah, just kill the bosses. Really, really comfortable. Really reliable defenses. All right, let me finish this map out real quick, and we'll go into the details and how you can make your Frostblink build feel as good as this one. And you can have a League starter that's better than some of the others. Oh yeah, and I want to show you guys the expedition before we get to the rest of the build. So yeah, I have Big Boom here. So what you want to do is just, I put it right in the middle. I don't even bother like reading any of the remnants or anything. And then you want to look for Immune to Fire and Avoid Ignite. Those are the only 2 that we can't run. Immune to Curses sucks because we lose a lot of damage by not getting our double curse. But that's, we can still deal with it because we have so much AoE stuff. And then we just click this, we pop it, do our EB, can kind of just wait, pop my Vault Grace, put my Infernal Cry up, and I can kind of just Frostblink through the packs. And it clears Expedition really, really fast. I'd say it's like S tier for Expedition, honestly. Okay, so yeah, just want to show you guys that real quick. It's pretty nutty. Oh yeah, and then the rolls on the map. This is the map that I'm running. All right, so I already went over the details about the stuff that's changed, but we'll go into the nitty-gritty about each one of my items. So I have written down and tracked everything that I've spent. I believe it's around 6 divines or so. All right, let me do the actual math here. Give me 1 second. Hopefully that's accurate. I might be off by a little bit, but yeah, I have spent roughly 5 divines, as we do. And the build is feeling exceptional. I've been saying for a year it's about a 3 to 5 divine build, and I keep proving it league after league. So this is where I'm at right now. I have, as I said, I have killed all 4 of the bosses. I even did a tier 17 map. Not comfortably, but I did get the boss down. The first one that I tried was just way too hard. I was like triple curses and everything. That was the Lycia one. I almost killed her, but I didn't. I got her to like 25% life. But then my second T17 map that I ran, it was the one with Katarina, and she killed me a couple times, but I did get her down. Honestly, if I just had my life flasks up, she never would have killed me. I just died because too much degen. The total detail of everything that I got going on right here. Of course, the Eye of Malice, absolutely mandatory. This is our main damage scaler by making the enemy go super negative res. Lightning Coil, again, super, super mandatory. This is our physical damage reduction. 6 links right now. I think it might be a little bit more expensive right now. I was able to buy this for 80 chaos. You can do the Black Morrigan, which is, it's hard to type in because it has a special character, but you just type in the Black Morrigan with the Krasik Sand Spitter. Let's see what the price is right now. All right, Krasik Sand Spitter is 20 chaos, and the Black Morrigan is 70 chaos. So for 90 chaos right now, the price of this might go up, but you buy these 2 beasts, you can guarantee 6 link an item like that for currently 90 chaos or so. You can buy a Lightning Coil for 4 chaos, and then boom, 6 linked, done, just like that. So everyone should have a 6 link right now, easy peasy. My weapon, I was able to snag this Saturday night for 1 divine. What I would recommend is you can go to POB, you can go to, we're going to do a little bit of a teaching thing right here. Do trade for these items, find best, execute. This is the let me do this a little slower. Trade for these items, go to the weapon slot, find best, click execute right here, and control click this. It'll open up the trade website. Search by the weighted sum right here, and it will give you the list of best items possible for your build in terms of just raw damage. So you can get a very, very strong, solid item right here. Actually, this is Frostblink currently selected? Yeah, that's with Frostblink. So it will sort based on the selected skill that you have right there. So let's redo that search with Fire Trap selected because we want to min-max our single target. Open this up and then search by sum right here. And then, yeah, you can see, these are very expensive. Scroll down a little bit. You can set your max price. And then you can find ones that, maybe you could buy this for 4 divines. Maybe you could get, this one, 1.5 divines, very competitive. It actually has an open prefix. This is a great base, 1.5 divines, open prefix, craft fire damage, and you get a great item right there. That's the way that you want to find the deals on the trade website. You could even just go here, click on this, say max price like 2 divines, sort by the sum, and now you can find, hey, is there an open prefix? There's an open suffix. Maybe I can craft fire dot multi. Maybe I can craft, increase fire damage on the prefix. Or you can even look for a base that might be really good to hit with a veiled orb. I assume that's how this was actually crafted. I bought this for 1 divine, like I said. My assumption is someone saw the +1 spell and the tier 3 burning damage, and it's got the chosen mod on it, right? My guess is that they either unveiled it, like it could have been a ground drop and they unveiled it, or they just hit it with a veiled orb, which on night 2 was only 30 to 40 chaos. Hit that, unveiled the fire damage, and then they sold it for 1 divine for profit, to me. There's a lot of different ways that you can get a scepter. Honestly, though, with the huge potential buffs coming to Necropolis, hopefully today, maybe tomorrow, the crafting, I think, is going to be so powerful that my recommendation is just wait. Get something very usable, like, maybe spend a divine on something, 1, maybe 2 divines. Get something very usable like this, and then, a little bit later on, wait for the Necropolis crafting. I'm guessing we're going to be able to make insane items. So, just don't overpay on stuff right now. So that's where my weapon came from. The amulet and the shield were both ROG crafted. I did that on stream 2 days ago. So, yeah, ROG crafting, I'm not going to teach you guys how to do it here right now, but he is very, very powerful. I have spurned him in the past, so I'm sorry, ROG. The quick and easy, dirty thing to do is pretty much just look for an item that is a good base and has probably about 2 good modifiers on it. More good modifiers is even better. The way that you want to think about it is he can raise the tier of mods. So you could have the mods that you care about, but they're lower tier. He could raise those all up, and then it could be a really good item. Or maybe he has like really good suffixes or really good prefixes, and you just want to go for the other one, or something like that. But yeah, I did ROG craft my amulet. I think it came with +1 all fire and life, and then I just did the ROG stuff and I hit the other, the attributes and the evasion rating on it. And then what I did is I bought the Beastcraft to turn it into a talisman. It was originally a regenerating amulet, whatever that, coral base, a coral amulet. And I was like, that's a trash implicit. And I hit it with the talisman craft, and I got regenerate life, which is not the best one, but it's not bad. So we improved the implicit on that as well. I get a ton of attributes here, which is really comfortable for the other stuff that I'm doing. Same thing with the shield. I believe it had spell suppression and life on it. And then I just kind of did some raw crafting, and I ended up with this. It's not the best thing in the world. I probably will go for a better shield a little bit later when we get the Necropolis crafting, but very, very solid for now. Really good life, solid res, solid attributes, and spell suppression. I would just like all that to be a little bit better. So we'll be going for that a little bit later with the Necropolis crafting. A lot of people are asking me why I'm not using the Profane Proxy yet. I would love to. The problem, again, is the attributes and the resistances. Very, very hard to fit all that in, particularly with the gear that I have. I haven't gone super hard in trying to get really, really good stats and res on all my gear. I just crafted this belt a few minutes ago. Stats and attributes are really tight right now, and so I really don't want to press the 2 curses, but I don't mind. For me, I'm willing to make that mechanical sacrifice just to have easier gearing. But if you're willing to put a little bit more effort into getting better gear, then you can just get that Profane Proxy. I want it really, really bad. Trust me. Then my other ring right here, it is crafted up with the Essence of Anger. It's got the elemental damage. So on this ring, this was a replacement for the Pyre. It's got really solid res on it, as well as 68% increased damage because of the catalyst, as well as Opal Ring with the Anger of Essence of Anger. My gloves still suck. They have that tier 8 cold res, which feels really bad. I mean, the rest of the gloves are solid. Like, I like all the rest of the mods, but that tier 8 cold res stings so bad. I'd love to make that better, but last I checked, the price of the Essence of Delirium was really, really high. Essences are rough, man. I feel for you guys. So, yeah, it's still 60 chaos. Usually it does come down like a week or so into the league, but since it's so desired right now, you're just going to have to wait. So I would just buy one of them. Just buy one, use whatever trash you got, and then use the rest of your gear to make up for that life resin stats. And you're just going to have like kind of crappy gloves and just got to suck it up. And then a thing that I did just a few minutes ago was to get this phasing on Kill Jewel. That allowed me to replace my quartz flask because you need a source of phasing. You know, 8% on kill is not incredible, but when you blink into a pack of monsters, you're going to have phasing up for a good percentage of the time. That allowed me to replace my quartz flask, get a taste of hate right here. I bought this for 1.5 divines. It is so big for your physical damage mitigation. Very, very playable before you get it, but this is a gigantic boost. Definitely recommend getting that ASAP. Most of the gems are the same. Just to go over that really quick, I got Malevolence, Infernal Cry, Divine Blessing, Shield Charge, Tempest Shield, Faster Attacks, Grace, Increased Duration with Steel Skin automation support. So I went back and forth between Steel Skin and Immortal Call. There are so many bleeds in the game right now. It feels like vulnerability is an incredibly common curse at the moment. There's so many mods with the Necropolis monsters and everything that have chance to bleed that I think, yeah, even more bleed removal. I have it on my flask right here, but I was like spamming this every single map just to remove the bleed. Just having bleed immunity with a 2.75 second cooldown going off all the time on automation support, I think is actually gigantic for the quality of life. Of course, our max hit is not as good. We're not getting like that on damage taken, you know, reactive setup. But I think for just getting that bleed shedding all the time, I cannot recommend it enough. I think that was a night and day upgrade. So yeah, I think that particularly with how much bleed is in the game right now is pretty much mandatory. Flammability, elemental weakness. Again, I would like the Profane Proxy, Skitterbots, Vitality. Because I dropped the Pyre, I went back to Cold to Fire, of course. Frostblink, definitely try to get a 2120 Frostblink ASAP. The damage and the quality of life that you get from the longer Frostblink is very, very big. Combustion, Ignite, Prolif, and then, yeah, that's our 4-link right there in our gloves. This build has gone through so many iterations now in the past year. I've flip-flopped between Frostblink in the body armor and the gloves, particularly with how hard the monsters that we're fighting are these days. I think Fire Trap in the body armor is the way. And particularly with the trap throwing speed that we have now, it doesn't feel that bad to throw traps, you know, while you're mapping. If there's any hard rares or anything that you're having trouble killing, I think this is the right way. I'm going to be keeping this in the future. Fire Trap is going in the body armor. Get a 21-0 Fire Trap ASAP, Trap and Mind damage, Awaken Swift Affliction, Awaken Burning damage. That's your core 4 links. And then I have Efficacy here and Combustion. Combustion is obviously not that necessary since we have it with the Frostblink. However, for the really scary tier 17 bosses, you don't want to be like blinking in to keep your combustion debuff from the Frostblink while you're fire trapping. It's not a big deal, but you are going to have more consistent negative res and damage from that combustion buff if you're just throwing from a distance. So that's why I'm using it right here. And then efficacy, more skill effect duration is kind of nice. We kind of run out of links that we can use here. We can't use inspiration. We can't use cruelty. That doesn't work with EB and or fire trap, unfortunately. There are a couple ways to make that work, but it's a little too janky. We're not doing that. The big gem change that I would make here is with a level 4 empower. It is a very big damage boost. So if we see, this is not my real POB, but 6.6 million DPS. If we change out combustion here to a level 4 empower, it is goes up to 8.2 million DPS. Very, very big upgrade. That's probably going to be like my one biggish purchase for the build. I'm kind of waiting for Empower to get down to about 5 divines. That's going to be my big jump here. Going from 6.6 million DPS to 8.2 is such a huge jump. Our single target then becomes like very, very good. At that point, we're getting pretty close to Uber DPS. I really like to get about 10 million DPS when I get to Ubers, 9.6 when we level up our gems right here. So we're pretty close to that. So yeah, that's kind of the end of my entire plan and my journey here with this build. My plans are probably to start thinking about a second build. I'm very happy with this. I am going to play around with the Necropolis crafting, kind of do a couple more upgrades. But for me, this is a league starter. I've been very successful with it, in my opinion. I have, I got my Void Stones on Sunday. 3 days, I got all my Void Stones. I did a tier 17 map yesterday as well. So I'm very, very happy with that. I think it's performing as well as it always has. We did have to make a couple of changes. Oh, yeah, tattoos. Sorry. There's so many little things. I do have some Chaos Res tattoos here, and then I do have some Spell Suppression tattoos right here. Each one of these is 10 to 20 Chaos. The price is fluctuating a lot every single day. Each tattoo here is 10 to 20 Chaos. So, add that onto the price as well if you want to do that. Just make sure that your Spell Suppression is capped, whatever it takes to do that. Very, very important for just getting that 100% Spell Suppression. It was very noticeable, even going from 90% plus lucky to 100%. I really noticed that I wasn't taking as many big, random hits. All right, but that's it for me. Absolutely banger, successful league start, despite the fact that Necropolis monsters have been slowing me down, and they're trying to hold me back. But this is the little league starter that could. It's so adaptable. It's such a strong archetype. We just have to be a little bit clever, a little bit, again, adaptable to the changes, whether we need more offense or defense. We have access to those tools in the game. This is still my favorite League starter in the game. It just feels so good, particularly in that 1 to 5 divine investment territory. I've never played another League starter that really even compares in terms of just like comfort, being able to blast through things, as well as being able to go between like really high density, semi-explodey farming to being able to take down bosses for like very little investment. So yeah, that's it for me today. If you have any other questions, you can ask me on stream, twitch.tv/subtractem. I'll be live in a couple hours after this video. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. See y'all tomorrow. Goodbye.